Do it with me, or
I can do the photos if you want, or what do you
I can do.
mean?
I can do. Have you like had dinner and stuff?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to day 3 of the Australian Underwater Hockey Championships. Joining us for game 106 in the division of the elite women, we have the Tasmanians in the black versus China in the white. Thanks for joining us tonight. Game's about to get underway. I'm sure we'll be seeing an exciting one here. Tassie coming off the back of 2 very intense games earlier today. 2 draws, their first against Western Australia 2-all, and their second against the Amazons 1-all. And we see the siren go, and play commences. Excellent drive into the forward third by Tasmania, looking to cut that 45 into the centre. Driving there looks to be Bridie Hilden. Nice curl to her halfback, who pushes along the back wall, supported by her teammate, and they look for a wall drive. And it seems to pay off as it comes through the centre, and that will be a goal to Tasmania. And that will be number 4. So I check my team sheet. Sunny Sky Pascoe. Champion player, moved to Tasmania a few years ago from Western Australia. The other team can't tell what she's doing. Her own team can't tell what she's doing. She's not even sure what she's doing. But it pays off. As we see, she scores the opening goal. Play recommences, strike taken. And won again by Tasmania. That's an infringement called by our referees. I'll just wait for confirmation. That will be barging against Tasmania. And China will set up for their free puck. If you are just joining us, Tasmania is 1 goal up against China. Tasmania in the black, China in the white. Good defensive effort by Tasmania as they cut it across on the 45 to the near wall. And driven well, double teaming. Nice tidy pass to a teammate. And it's driven across the pool in a switch. An infringement called as Tasmania attempts another switch. It will be a foul against China. I'm unsure of the infringement. Look to be chopping, perhaps. China will set up to defend their goal tray as Tasmania looks to sweep it in. Driven well by the Tasmanians into the tray, and that's an excellent goal. Number 6 for Tasmania. Oh, and I've lost my team sheet. I should know this, but I don't. Oh, Eliza Game. Very speedy Eliza. I expect we'll see a few goals from her tonight. That will take Tassie to 2-0 up against China as play recommences and we see the third strike taken. Nice 45 drive by the Tassie girls as they take it into China's defensive corner. We see the halfback diving down there. And we'll see a backline switch, beautifully initiated and well pulled off by the Tasmanians. They'll drive it all the way to the other side, still in China's defensive third. And they'll attempt a backward switch, and it's working well for them. Of course, a switch done to try and spread the opposition as wide as they can, and we can see it's worked very well as Tasmania drive it forward, sink the puck into the tray, and that'll be another goal. Number 5, Hannah Robert-Tisso sinks that one. Hannah the captain, playing in the centre. China will need to lift here if they have any hope of not letting the game get away from them. They played well for the first 5 minutes, but a few quick ones from the Tassie girls really put them on the back foot. Driven again to the wall off the strike by the Tasmanians. A favourite move of theirs, but it pays dividends when it works. It'll come back into the centre on a switch. Looks to be done by the wing, and she'll cut back into the centre corridor and drive forward, assisted by her teammates. Well defended by China as they look to take it to the corner. Great defensive effort there from China to keep it out of their tray for so long with such an aggressive Tasmanian force barreling into them. But Tasmania again on the defensive. Numbers on the bottom. China desperate to clear it out of there. Nice curl from the Tasmanian. She offloads it to a halfback who drives forward. Curls, cuts it back into the centre. And somehow it just hasn't quite gone in. She'll go again. Beautifully cleared by China. Excellent teamwork. Another excellent defensive effort from the Chinese as they clear it right in front of their tray. Very risky move, but it's paid off. And they'll drive it some of the way up their wall, but not far enough. And it lurks about 10 metres out. Tasmania cuts it through the centre. Another excellent switch. Driven well through that outside corridor. And cutting it back through the centre now, looking to drive it straight into the middle of the tray. But China will force them to cut the 45 towards their defensive corner. Tassie barrels back in, but cleared again to the corner. And after a long onslaught, Tasmania seems to have sunk it, but the referee is signalling no goal. And a gloving offence by the Tasmanians. China's free puck. Come commentate, Edie. Come say something about Tasmania.
No comment.
No comment. Aww. China will just take a strategic minute there to call a timeout. After 3 quick goals by the Tasmanians, China have made an impressive comeback to hold them out for as long as they have. It seems they've realised the game was slipping away from them and they've really made an effort to keep control before it all spirals out of control. Edie, come and commentate, Edie. No. Of course, the last game in this court played by Victoria and the Amazons team, sourced from Canada and South Australia and other far-off places, won by the Amazons 5-0. Valiant effort from Victoria, nonetheless. But coming into this game, Tasmania is certainly one of the favourites for this competition. Tough game against Western Australia earlier, ending 2-0. Seems they might battle it out for the top podium finishes. Victoria always in with a shot, though. You want to talk about how great Victoria? Come commentate. Oh, okay. Okay. Impressive effort by China there to keep it out of their tray for so long. It seems they actually do have control of this defensive quarter. Tasmania is having a lot of trouble sinking another goal in. But not for want of effort as they drive it again through the centre where they are so strong. And that will be a goal. But another no goal awarded to China. Another gloving offence committed by the Tasmanian. Couldn't quite see who. Tori Wickham. Classic Tori move. Of course, her Aunt Nat would never do such a thing. She's far too slippery for that. China looking to capitalise on this life they've been given. Tassie quite possibly pretty keen to sink another goal, give themselves a little break. And Tassie will go for a big swim there. I reckon that was Eliza Game. Lots of acceleration off that. Tasmania looking to cut the 45, drives it straight into the melee and it spills back out to her halfback. An infringement called now. I'll hazard that would be against Tasmania. Black number 6. Can't see quite what Eliza did there. Sure it was unintentional. Excellent vision of a nice pass between the Tasmanians there. And a second pass. Beautifully set up. They really read that well. And they'll drive it to the far wall. Looking for yet another switch. Trying to drive the Chinese open. Looking for the space that they open up. And once they do, they'll seize that and drive through the center. As we see them do now. But excellent swimming from the Chinese as they beat the Tasmanians at their own game and cut through the centre where they feel exposed. And Tassie jumping in on that, realising they're safe on the wall. They drive over there. Claudia Payne, nice 1-2 there. Backed up by a teammate. And playing melees in the blind spot of the cameras. We'll have to use our imagination. Lots of excellent play going on, I'm sure. Oh, and a beautiful aggressive effort there by Tassie. Just cut off at the last minute. We'll see if they can drive it in. But China desperate to keep it out. They drive, stolen by Tassie. They go again into the corner of the tray this time. For confirmation.
Number 6? Yeah.
Another goal for Eliza, as predicted. She'll be quite affluent with the scoring tonight, I imagine. Oh, it seems the refs have called a timeout now, not a team timeout. The refs convened to discuss something of unknown subject. Oh, perhaps a kick out. Some confusion in the Chinese camp as a player is shown the door and told to get on the sin bin for a minute. Not quite sure what she did. Not sure she's sure either, but she's going.
Our stream status is bad.
Thank you for joining us. If you are just joining us, the score is 4-1, 4-0. Tasmania in the black lead China in the white. And the fifth strike taken for this evening in what I imagine the dying moments of this first half. Driven wide to the wall by Tasmania. She passes back to her halfback who cuts the 45 back into the centre. Risky move. And they'll look for their far wall. And cutting it back into the centre again. The puck is just moving all around this court. Nice curl and cut back through the centre. Tasmania are so good at that move. And they'll flood into the centre, look for a late goal. And even the refs aren't sure if it's a goal. Equal puck, they say.
I'm not going to try and see.
Apologies to any Chinese listeners at home. If you're out there, good on you for supporting your team. Not sure what time it is in China. Possibly quite early. Oh! We've had some sabotage of our camera. Oh dear. Oh. In the confusion, it seems we've had half time and the teams have changed ends. And we've also had a camera taken out. It's all happening here at Tobruk Memorial Pool. Third day of the Australian Underwater Hockey National Championships. Watching game 106. The elite women, Tasmania in the black, lead China to 5 goals in the white. China's had some very good defensive efforts, but Tasmania's forward line, supported by their backs, has been just too strong for them so far. We'll see if they can make a comeback in the second half, crack that egg open on their scoreboard, try and put in a goal if they can. Tasmania reconvene, rally, get some advice from head coach Nath Whelan. Nath, of course, named coach of the elite women's team for the years to come. Very exciting for him. Congrats. Number of the Tasmanian women, of course, national reps in their own right. Some under 23s looking to trial this Thursday following finals. Lots of promising up-and-coming talent. And, of course, some established players in Hannah and Eliza, Dan, Cam. All the usual offenders. Many of these girls having played for 4 or 5 years together, some of them for decades. They're a very tight-knit unit, and they're a force to be reckoned with at this tournament. Of course, we're very lucky to have this streaming service available to us. This tournament, developed over the last couple of years, used for Worlds in 2017 and 2018. Proving all the time. And Cairns doing a very good job with their volunteer staff to get it up and running, get every stream available to you every day. We'll see the first strike taken of the second half. Tasmania up by 5 goals against China in the white. Strike one by Tasmania and predictably driven to their wall. And a cut back through on the 45. Claudia Payne there, committing some foul, of course, although it seems to have been given against China. I'm sure that was actually a Claudia foul. Believe that might have been gloving on the Chinese side. Tasmania will set up for their free puck. Taken by Bridie Hilda by the looks of it. She cuts in on the 45. Looks to offload to her teammate. Had some trouble and it's intercepted by China. But they'll cut back through the center. Do a nice drive. Lots of numbers on the bottom as Tassie look to sink their 6th goal. But a good defensive effort from China once again. They proved very strong on their back wall. Very composed under pressure. Done great work. A lot of time's been spent right within their 6-meter D and in the corners, and they've just played beautifully to keep it out. But it won't pay off this time, and Tassie will sink a goal. Number 10. No, number 12. That was scored by number 12, Jess. I believe she is a New Zealand player. Don't know much about Jess, but good to have her. Tasmania feeling pretty comfortable now, I imagine, but they won't be taking their foot off the gas. See, brilliant surge into the strike. They look to melee a little bit. That might have been an attempt at a spearhead, but it'll be taken to the wall. China hopefully now wising up to the fact that Tassie like to play very open style hockey and they'll look to spread them wide, and that the best way to shut them down will be to lock them on the wall and flood them. They won't like that. But the speed of the Tasmanians just too good for China as they drive up that wall. Beautiful swimming there from, it looks like, Eliza Game. And she thinks she's been fouled, I think. And the referees think she has too. And on this free, the off wing, I'm certain will get down a little bit earlier than everyone else and just sink into that tray and look to really slam the puck in if it comes to her. But it won't come off for Tassie. Their do or die effort isn't just going to happen right now. But it comes back almost straight away. And they'll try it up through the wall. China desperate to clear it out. Infringement called. No goal, says the ref. Barging. I'll hazard a guess that was number 5 for Tasmania. For a non-contact sport, it is a very physical game. And sometimes it's hard to know how much is just effort and how much is throwing your body weight around a little more than you ought to. It's hard to fault Tasmania's passing tonight. They're just finding each other's bats really well. Hardly a loose pass in it. And they're switching too. It's been very quick, very well practiced. You can see that's a set play that they run through a lot at training. And of course Tasmania having a very firm advantage over many of the other teams here with the ability to train together several times a week. Some teams haven't even met each other by the time they come to nationals, so they're very lucky in Hobart. And of course, second last game of the day. Everyone's a bit fatigued. Thinking about their games tomorrow, quarterfinals, semi-finals, and the big dance on Thursday. Another infringement by Tasmania, and China will get the free puck on their tray. It's not clear what's happened this time. Might have been another barging infringement. Ah, another gloving infringement. Yeah, the pull in to Brook is quite slippery. It's as if someone's gone through with some melted butter and slathered it all over the tiles. So it's very easy to get gloved to puck rather than stick. Oh god. Gloved it so many times. How many goals have we had disallowed for gloving? Like 4, 5? Just a score update. I can't see the score myself, but I believe it is 6-0. Tasmania lead China with around 6 or 7 minutes to play. Tasmania very persistent on their 45 drives, looking to cut it away from the wall into the center of the pool, having spread the Chinese out wide. Getting a little trapped on the back wall there where China seems to be quite strong. Might pay off to bring that puck out and around and park the bus. Some words between the refs, but it seems they will call that a goal. Oh. So we'll have a goal for Tasmania and number 5, Hannah Robert-Tisso. And we'll have a kick out of 2 minutes to China for a dangerous flick. So, a little bit of confusion in the pool. China, not too sure what's going on. Tassie very composed, The referee's just having a little discussion. Play recommences. China now with just 5 in the water. Tassie hoping to capitalize with that one extra player in the water. And we can see they've just lifted a little now. There's a little more acceleration in those kicks. Of course, Tasmania leading now 7-0. Not much to play for other than the glory of it all and to firmly stamp their dominance in this competition. As they score another goal. Very fast one that time. Number 2 by the looks of things. That'll be Tori Wickham. Her aunt Nat, of course, playing for both the Tasmanian Masters and the Victorian Elite Women. And Tori, a rock-solid fullback for the Tasmanian Women. That will be a timeout to China, by the looks of things.
China for the tournament?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nate's got a lot to say. They gift Tassie a goal. We did have one player out.
Yeah. So we'll see play recommence following that goal. Score. Now there's some contention in the commentary box. I'm not sure if it's 7-0 or 8-0. What can be agreed on is that Tasmania have a definitive lead. However, an infringement called, chopping against the Tasmanians. The offender just having a word with the ref. She's not sure she chopped it.
Oh, about 5 minutes, I reckon.
Tasmania looking to take it off the wall. China coming down in numbers now, holding it there. Nice tactic there from China, realizing that shutting down the switches will be the best way to stop them from scoring. But Tassie taking the risk of cutting it right across the face of their goal tray, around 8 meters out, but it's paid off and it's opened that game up again. The Tasmanians will go on a nice drive now. They look for the double team, they curl back and pass. Referee signaling advantage on the surface. It looks like China may have fouled, and they will now call the infringement. It's a barging foul against Tasmania now. Tasmania under some serious pressure now for the first time in the evening. And in the dying minutes of the game, I'm sure they'll be looking to keep that score, that egg on China's scorecard unbroken, keep them out of their goals. And of course, with 2 drawn games earlier today, they'll be really keen to keep that goal margin as big as they possibly can, try and finish on top of the leaderboard, as places will be very important coming into quarter and semi-finals. Bit of a pack forming as Tasmania drive it across the face of their goals again. A very risky move. Perhaps something they're practicing for a later game. Perhaps just a bit of desperation to clear it out. Looks to pay off though as they make some ground up the court and into China's defensive third. China in a bit of trouble here as Tasmania barrel through. Good defensive effort, but will it pay off? And it seems it won't. The umpires will call that a goal. Number 1. Sasha? That'll be Sasha, number 1. That's very good of the Tasmanians, sharing that goal scoring around, making sure everyone gets a turn. Haven't seen a lot of back action tonight. Perhaps in the last few minutes. The last few minutes, a few of the back line could jump on in. Tori's had a go. Maybe another one from Tori. Bit surprised Tasmania didn't go for the spearhead there, but they seem content to just push it out to the wall. Even let it come back towards their goal tray. I'm sure that wasn't intentional. But that'll be an infringement call from the referee. They signal a foul against Tasmania. It's not clear what the infringement was, but they'll be right on the back foot now. Only about 6 meters from their tray. Be very disappointing now to let China get a goal. Second infringement called now from the referee. I'd imagine that will be a breaking call. White number 12 will be sin-binned for 1 minute. Perhaps for breaking. It's unclear what the obstruction was. Again, a bit of confusion in the pool. The refs are having a bit of trouble communicating exactly what they want either team to do tonight. And she sent Tasmanian player out of the pool, back in, and she's out of the pool again. And it seems she will have 1 minute in the sin bin. Although I'm not sure she understands quite why she's there. And Tasmania will set up right on their own goal tray. Let's see if they can keep it out. Driven well by Tasmania to their corner. I'm sure that was very much the intention. And China, I imagine, will look to bring it out and around and park the bus. Can't quite do it though as Tasmania push up their wall and try to own that space. China's still trying to bring it out, still trying to play that wall game. And it's just not quite paying off for them. Not looking to capitalize on that space that's there. Tasmania 1 player down. But as it is very late in the game, it seems that China's efforts in the last minute or so may not pay off. Words of encouragement from the Tasmanians on their sub bench. And the buzzer will go, and that is time in game 106. Won by Tasmania, we believe 8-0 to China. Excellent effort by China in the defense. That score could have been much higher. So they certainly deserve to be commended. But the unit that is Tasmania continues to roll on forward. It seems they are unstoppable thus far in the tournament, and we'll see if tomorrow anyone can throw a spanner in the works and knock a bit of confidence out of them. And that'll be the end of the stream tonight. We will see you tomorrow.